Do you have to pay to file a claim?
It depends. I mean, if it's, like I said that many times on my shows, if you can't afford it at that time, you could talk to the billings manager, the chief judge, and just say, look, honestly, I can't afford it at this time, you know. And sometimes they ask you for something called like a financial disclosure, which is only fair. Because if somebody said, well, look, you know, my neighbor bent a blade of grass on my front lawn, and I want to seek a claim for compensation for that bent blade of grass, you could have some nut job filing 500 claims a day and tangling it. Well, you could have like a Rod Class guy doing crazy stuff like that, putting 5 inches thick worth of paperwork in for a blue light on his dashboard. You know, it's ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying. So should they have a nominal fee for accessing a public building at times? Yes. Because if they didn't, you can have people piling into that courtroom with frivolous cases, you know, just because they are bored, just because they want to prove something. So yes, if it hits them, stings them in their pocketbook a little bit, then maybe they're not going to be so willing to put the most ridiculous claims before the court. Maybe they're only going to do claims that are worthy of some real merit and concern for, like, not only themselves but for the public at large. Maybe it's for the benefit of mankind that they're putting this claim in, not just for their own self-enrichment. So yes, should there be some sort of a fee? Yes. But that's why you always see them say they'll waive the court costs, you know, a lot of times when they say, well, if you're indigent. But I would never say I'm indigent, because indigent means that I'm worthless. And I would never say that I'm worthless. I'd never say that any man is worthless. So I would never say that I'm indigent. I would just say I do not have, you know, the proper currency at this time. I don't have green money, or if I was in Canada, I have brown money. I don't have in England, I don't have the blue money. I don't have the proper currency at this time, at this time for filing. But, you know, I believe this case has got, you know, is worthy of merit, and the public should be made aware of what is going on out here. And believe me, that's why they take a look at your case and they say, yeah, this is a good case. You know, yes, we should bring this to the public attention, and yes, we should have a hearing, and we should have a trial over this matter. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the only thing you can do then with the judge, if he says it's $500, say, you know, look, I'll pay you $5 a week for the next 100 weeks. I'm good for it. I'll give you my word. And the judge will take you at your word because because he knows he's talking to a man. If you say, look, I'll pay you $5 a week for the next 100 weeks, you know, I'm a man of my word, and I'll carry out my word. You know, I'll be obliged to you to $5 a week. And like I said, like when I said to the judge for that moonshine, I said I pay him $5 a week for 60 weeks for $300 fine. I said, and if I can't come up with $5, I said, believe me, I'll get in touch with the court clerk and I'll tell her what I can do that week. I might be able to give her $1 or $2 that week. I said, but believe me, as soon as I get a decent job down in Florida, I'll pay this off so fast your head will spin. I said, as soon as I get a chunk of change, I want this off my back so fast it's not even funny. I'm glad to get all debts off my back. But I said, I can do $5 a week. Then I think I could swing. I said, I think I can handle $5 a week. So he said, okay, fine. Just tell the court clerk that whatever you want to pay is okay by the judge. And she'll understand.
Okay, we've got one more and we'll wrap it up, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, South Texas.
I'm trying to put a claim through. I was assaulted by officers. It was pretty bad. Supposedly they had a warrant for my arrest. I didn't see the warrant. They never showed it to me. They arrested me. They took me in. And the claim that I'm trying to put in is, of course, from what I've learned from you, is, you know, trespassing. And I didn't get their names. I still don't have their names. They keep giving me the runaround as far as the actual names. I only have one last name from one of the guys that actually cuffed me and took me in. And my question is, can I use the last name? Can I just use the last name to put a claim in?
Like let's say you went to the zoo and a whole bunch of gorillas jumped out of the cage and they attacked you.
Correct.
While you were going down the street. Now, what kind of names would you call those gorillas? Bob, Susie, Betty? You wouldn't worry about it, would you?
No.
You'd find out who's in control of that zoo. You'd find out who's in control of that police department, wouldn't you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you'd say agents acting on your behalf. that you supervise, train, discipline, and monitor, or that you failed to train, discipline, supervise, and monitor, like your monkeys, like your gorillas.
Oh,
if you failed to train, discipline, and monitor them, I've accrued a loss.
All right.
You can say, Officer A, B, C, D. It doesn't matter. You don't need his name.
Wow.
Because like Walmart. Okay, let's say you're at Walmart, and some stock boy puts soap on the floor just to see people fall, so he's got his camcorder going just so you put it on YouTube videos. What are you going to sue, a stock boy? The 16, 17-year-old snot-nosed stock boy who's worth $13.17 and a pair of roller skates? What are you going to do, sue him?
Right.
No, you're going to find Walmart. You're going to find the guy who runs Walmart and say, hey, you failed to train, discipline, and monitor your agents, and because of your failure to train, discipline, and monitor your agents who act on your behalf for your benefit, I've accrued a loss.
Okay.
You go right to the top like that. It's that simple.
It is. It is very simple. It is very simple. For this, what I'm being charged for, I'm being charged for an assault with a deadly weapon, and I wasn't even. I don't even own a weapon. This
well,
was
like
not
me on my show. On my show, I'm assaulting people with my brain, so that's a deadly weapon, right? My mouth.
Well, that's what I'm trying to learn from you, man. I mean, I get it. I really do. You make it so simple that at first it was so confusing, but my eyes are opening to your the way you teach and you express yourself. It's so simple that it kind of gets confusing, but once you start continually listening to you, it's just wow. Like right now, you make.
Well, like I said too, the best way to go after a statute, if you feel like going after a statute, is you just use something like assault with a deadly weapon. And it's like, okay, deadly weapon. Okay, who died?
Right.
Like, what? Then I guess it wasn't deadly.
Okay. Wow.
You see, stuff like that. I mean, that's how you destroy this. A judge taught me that. And actually, he taught me that after my trial. He taught me that, during another trial. I came back in the courtroom. I said, this is going to drive me crazy. I said, can you explain if I pled guilty, I was going home. If I pled not guilty, I was going home. And he explained it to me. And then I said, oh, okay. And he says, kid, let me tell you what. He says, what were you charged with? I said, I was charged with, adding an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He said, yeah. He says, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? He's like, what? He said, if they really wanted you, they would have charged you with moonshine. He said, but they charged you with adding an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He says, how do you destroy this statute? How do you make it look totally irrelevant to what you did? How do you make it show that it has absolutely nothing to do with what you did? I said, I don't know. He said, take a word and destroy it. I said, what word? He said, pick a word. He said, I'll pick one for you, kid. Heat, artificial heat. You use the artificial heat source. He says, just use the word natural heat source. Come back to court next week, ask for a retrial, and tell me that you used a natural heat source, and you swear that you used a natural heat source, not an artificial heat source, and I'll discharge this case against you, and I'll clean your record. I said, nah. I said, it's going to look good that I have something like that on my permanent record. I said, moonshine, that's a really cool crime. I said, it's not like baby rape or kidnapping or, assault with, I'm saying it's assault with a deadly weapon.
I heard your recording, and I know you said that's a cool charge. I don't mind having that on my record. I can live with that. So, is there?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have to take it apart. You have to, like I said, find assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, assault. You mean I assaulted? I did something in the past. I assault. That means I'm doing it presently. Or I'm assaulting, which means I'm doing it now and sometime in the future. So, it's assault with a deadly weapon. You mean I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon.
Right.
Did I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon, or did I assault somebody with a deadly weapon? Because assault with a deadly weapon means I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Did I do it in the past? That means I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's funny, man. That's called playing like loopholes, and I really don't like playing loopholes. I'd rather just kick their ass in common law. Just saying, who's the man? I'll compensate them. If I've done wrong, let me, I want to settle the debt with the man right now. Just have him come forward and let's clean the slate while we're all here together. Or you can play a loophole game.
Okay. I got it.
It depends how you want to play. I mean, I'll play it either way. I'll play the loophole game or I'll play the common law game. I don't care. They're both fun. I don't care.
You don't even worry about cleaning your record, right? From what I gathered.
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got your reps you always talk about, and you know,
it's
listen
funny.
to
Everything's discharged and not guilty, discharged, not guilty. It's hysterical.
Right, discharge. I hear you. So
Yeah,
that
funny.
indictment that is waiting for me, I mean, it just do it like that, like you just said. Just you know, where is the deadly? What deadly weapon? Just like that, at the indictment. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what's funny too is, like I said, or like somebody asked me not too long ago, they said, how do you if you're worried about your legal record, if you're worrying about your legal person, because most of this country is 80-90% legal nowadays. You know, you got to get a legal license, legal jobs, legal. They want all kinds of documents, paperwork, passports. What you have to do is every state has rules of rehabilitation, how to clean up your legal record. They will actually have a set of procedures, a set of rules of rehabilitation, of how to get your legal person back into proper status and standing in the community, in the legal society. Just like if you were a member of the Boy Scout Society, they'd have a certain set of rules. Or like the Catholic Society, you'd say 37 Hail Marys and 7 Sons of Graces or whatever, and you'd be back in good standing with Jesus.
Right.
So there's a certain set of procedures, just like George Steinbrenner, when he wanted to get rid of his felony conviction, he gave a ton of money to Richard Nixon's re-election campaign. So Rich Nixon pardoned him and got rid of that felony conviction against him.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of ways you can rehabilitate yourself through the legal system. There really be a set of rules and codes, you know, that you have to abide by, and you have to almost always have to go back to the court of original jurisdiction, the original judge that sentenced you. And you have to show him that you're worthy of obtaining, you know, legal status again. You know, that you're not a felon. Because felon is as low can go. Because felon in Greek actually means some guy who sucks another guy. So if you want to get, if you etymologize the word felon, that's what it means. If you read it in Shakespeare plays, that's actually literally what it means. It's as low as you could be. So if you want to raise your status from being the lowest of the low, and you want to, you know, get rid of that felon status, there's ways to rehabilitate yourself. So, and somebody asked me that the other day, and I said, just go to your local state or county. Probably state. There's probably some sort of state rehabilitation, you know, to obtain legal status again, to get into the good graces of the legal society again.